Super quick garden diary video because there's really not a whole lot exciting around here. So the peppers are starting to come in. And some green ones here. Weird wonky guy. But so the peppers are starting to come in. I picked a few last night, some green ones. And yeah, I know I'll fill up your pool in a minute. But yeah, they're really starting to finally come in. I'm going to overwinter a bunch of my pepper plants this year. I tried last year and failed epically. I just didn't do it right, really. We ended up with fungus gnats everywhere, and it was just a hot mess. So I'm going to do it better this year, but I got a nice yellow one. There's a red one over there, I think. So we're getting some color up in here. The tomatoes are almost spent. But then there's some peppers that are coming up now that it's cooling down at night. The peppers are the hot peppers are starting to pop up. Learned something new with the tomatoes. I am going to overwinter these, but I'm not pulling up the plants themselves. I'm going to take cuttings off of the best plants and keep those in the house and grow them out throughout the winter, keep them pruned. And then when it comes time, say around February, March, I'll get them potted up. Like maybe this piece right here. Oh, I think it's got some, I don't know if it's going to do anything or not. But I'll like this piece here. I'll cut this piece, pull the leaves off of it for the most part, and then take and leave that to grow in the house through the winter. This one too, since it's nice and healthy, but yeah, the plants are starting to die out now. And they're just, they're at the end of their season. It's been really dry, so I mean, they've done better than I thought they were going to. I think we've gotten about 2.5, maybe 2.5 bushels so far. And there's still more in here, so it's not all over. It's not over yet, folks. But yeah, I'll take clippings off of the best of these plants, like this one here. I think this is what is this? This is a gladiator. No, it's a San Marzano or something, I don't know. But so I'll take clippings and save those throughout the winter, cut them back as I need to, and then in the spring, once it's time, I'll go ahead and get them potted up, and we'll already be kind of ahead of the game with good healthy plants all ready to go out in the garden. And the benefit to that is there's no worry about cross-pollination, so it's the original plant. So I'm not worried about the seeds from any of these being cross-pollinated with another one, with a different type. So we're getting the same plant consistently throughout. My Linaria is about at the end of its time. I keep trying to get out here to pull seeds off of them, but the sparrows are freeloaders around here, and they just they're really they're getting at them before I can, which stinks. But what are you gonna do? The zinnias are looking great. I've already collected some seeds from those, so I'm looking forward to those again next year. And the Swiss chard is doing nice, though it paused because we had yet another heat wave. It's been a rough year. I had a Swiss chard in the cold frame that I'd completely forgotten about, and the thing was huge, so I chopped that up. I'm gonna take that camping with me. The peas that I planted 2 weeks ago are doing great. They're just about to the point where they're going to start climbing. The cucumbers and I believe that is spinach. There's cucumbers, spinach, and lettuce in here. There's some of that red lettuce in there. And then there's some more cucumbers in here. Some of those are starting to, hey buddy, how you doing? Anyway, some of those are starting to get flowers and starting to produce some. All this lettuce is pretty much at seed now. These are those mushroom basket tomatoes. So those I'll pick here before I leave tomorrow. Probably take those with me too. It's still just too dang hot. I've tried planting straight seed and keeping it good and wet and getting another run of cauliflower in here, but it's just not working for me. The mammoth red cabbage is struggling, but it's still got some try in it yet. The green cabbage is getting there. It's looking pretty good. I mean, the heads are about softball to baseball size. I'd like to see them bigger, but we still have a couple months. The zinnias are just because first time I've had flowers in the garden, and I gotta say I do love them. And then this the Cosmo here. I mean, that Cosmo is probably about 4 foot tall, and then the sunflowers. I mean, I think we've got some that are 7 or 8 feet, which I love them. And then we have some Brussels sprouts down here. I just pulled the leaves yesterday or the day before, so I'm hoping that the birds don't mess with those. I might have to change tactics here for next year, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, we've got some great sunflowers in here. It's really nice. I've got some cilantro in here that's finally starting to do a little something now that it's getting cool at night. And there's there might even be a little parsley in there too. And there's some lettuce. And these are by far the best tomatoes, hands down. These are the Abe Lincolns. I mean, this thing, I picked one and it was just under a pound. This one will definitely be a pound. I'm hoping we get some more. This heat is just, I don't think that this plant is doing as good as it would if we weren't in a drought this year. I think that it could be doing better. I keep it watered fairly regularly. I went away for a couple of days and then had to come back and water, and so I've got a little bit of splitting on a couple of them, but for the most part they're doing really good. The pink fangs, I gave up on these ones in here. They're just, I mean, there's some that may do decent. This one plant's done okay. Actually, yeah, see, they split real easy. They're very sensitive to how they're watered. They're very sensitive to, they're just sensitive. They're a very sensitive sort. Still killing grass here. That is spaghetti squash is coming along. I pulled out a couple of plants, but I have squash bugs, and they've already killed off one of my zucchinis. They got up in the roots and just obliterated the root system. So I got to get in here maybe with some neem oil, because it looks like maybe they're getting after my butternut squash. And those butternut squash are probably the best butternut squash plants I've ever planted in these 3 years. I mean, what's the saying? You can't throw a dead cat without hitting something. I mean, and it's like every foot and a half. You've got one there, and then you've got one there, and then you got one there. And you can, like I said, you can just go every foot and a half, and there's one on here. There's one I had to liberate from the fence there. Cucamelons starting to climb. I'm really surprised. I mean, I had a dozen of these. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. Not to get distracted, but there's 2 right there. There's another one right here, and I think that there's another one somewhere in between. I mean, these things, and there's one, the big one right there, and they're just going nuts. So horse poop, man, stuff is great. So I watered the cucamelons this morning. I don't know if I should have. It was kind of hot, but they're doing fairly well, and I'm hoping to have something before the end of the season. It's August 18th. So, we still have another 2 months yet to go. So we're good to go. The potatoes are doing good. I checked these. Nothing's popping up out of the ground. So, those are doing well. I have been getting some zucchini. There's one that looks like I'll probably take that one today. And there's a couple more starting in there. I pruned these out to get a little more light and air down there. And hopefully some better pollination, and I hopefully keep them dang bugs out of there. So those are doing well. I put some lettuce and beets in there about a week or 2 ago, and those are coming along nice. These were a surprise. These were the pink fang. I thought that these were cuttings of Abe Lincoln. In fact, they were cuttings of Pink Fang, and there were some on here. I can't remember which plant they were on, but they're starting to come on. And so far, I've only pulled one off of here with blossom end rot, so it'll be interesting. Oh, there's one down in here, and there's a couple in here, and they all look. I might have it. I don't know. Hard to say. Let's see. I don't know. But, you know, there are some nice ones in here, so there may be hope for the Fang yet. We will follow that. But yeah, I was surprised to see those, and I think there's maybe 5 plants in there. So maybe we'll get something out of those. And then these are the cuttings from the mushroom basket, and they're coming along nice. I think there's a few flowers starting to pop out on those. And then this is, like I said, my test garden. The intervals seem to be pretty good to where these sunflowers are catching up, and now these Pink Fang will be able to climb right up those. As they get bigger, I'll be able to start to kind of tether that. So 2 more months left of the growing season. We still have tomatoes that are yet to come. We've got some that are ready to die out and some that are still yet to do their thing. So these are really slow to grow. These are those whole peas that I pulled out of a bag from the grocery store, and I mean they've been in there about a month, and they're pretty slow. But I don't know, maybe when it cools down they'll kick it up a notch. And then my carrots, they look like they're about ready to be pulled. These are the black nebulas, or the nebulas. They're like a purplish carrot, so I'm going to probably pull those when I get back. And I've got a bunch of this lettuce and spinach that have gone to seed that I've got to pull here soon. So that's about it. The hot peppers are doing good. I'm going to pick some of these couple of yellow and red peppers here to take camping. And yeah, that's about it.